queens and handsome kings doing this evening. How you all doing? Welcome. Welcome back to the start of a new vlog. How you all doing? It is currently, I actually have to work today. When I say your girl is so tired, not doing yesterday. Today was actually my first day going back to work. So y'all know my body had to get right back adjusted to, moving around and working. It was a great day, a little busy, but I kind of like when it be busy. I ain't gonna say it do make the time go by fast, but I like when I be a little bit somewhat busy versus me not having no, customers or guests that's, coming in. So it does help make the time go by. Then, like I say, I be trying to always try to stay active or find something to do. I'm just currently sitting up here. I had just got out the shower. I'm currently, my feet's not be dry. And I just got these little tie-dye shorts, y'all. They kind of a little big. I feel like I've been losing a little stomach lately. I feel like I've been really losing a little stomach. I think I was telling y'all in the last vlog. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I had to give me a little snack, some water, and my little cup I normally drink coffee out of, and I make my iced coffee in the morning. The water refreshing too. I normally like to recycle like my old milk jugs, wash them out real good, and store water in them. I've been doing that for quite some time. It come in handy because I know here in Memphis it get really, really hot. And right now we're pretty good, like we're in April, but I know once May, June, and all those months come, it gets really, really hot. So, I encourage anybody that if you stay in the city that like in the summers where it get extremely hot and the heat just, I would say if you do buy milk, it's good. They come the empty jugs. It come in handy when you recycle and just fill it up with water, and it really do. That water is so good. And then my refrigerator hold really cold. That's one thing I'm forever blessed about this place, that it do come with it came with a refrigerator and electric stove. That stove, it cooks really good. I'm so used to a gas stove, but the stove cooks good. Really cook good. Have your meals flavorful. I wasn't planning on doing no cooking today, so yeah, your girl a little tired. I just got to eat some hot wings. I had got from my mom. She had made some hot wings, so I just snacked on those. And earlier at work, I ate like a little pancake. I just kind of been nibbling, like taking small portions off of stuff. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm trying to be careful on how much I'm eating, because I don't know, for some reason when I eat big portions on the meal, it do something to, it just have me kind of like my energy. I don't know if hold on, y'all. Like that. Okay. It just have I guess just fat. I look fat for some reason. It's like I said, it's the way my tripod hold and filming, but yeah, it just, I don't know, eating so much big portions it kind of takes the energy out of me. I'ma say it like that. So I just lately been just eating smaller portions on food, But other than that, today was actually a great day though at work. I think I was telling y'all that before I turned the camera off. Yeah, girl, I had to get some water. I was so thirsty. I didn't want to just let the camera run. I had some rich crackers. I was eating. They don't even make these like they used to. I actually had these yesterday with some tuna fish. I had some more of that left over. So if I don't know, I might save it tomorrow when I come in. I do work the next 2 days until my new schedule get put out. So yeah, your girl just forever grateful. Like I say, God is good. He might not come when you want him, but he always on time. I was just sitting here looking out the window. Um, I'm gonna let that ring. That look like my door. This number recorder. I don't know why every time I get the film and somebody called it, but that's not really just major. I'm just gonna continue to talk to you all. I don't know what it is about people when it come down to the being in the food server. I think I probably just go more in deep. Like I share a little of it now, but then I probably go more deep into like a sit down chit chat about the reality of being a food server. I think when I get off camera with you all, I'm gonna plan out some content, and I might work on my little self-love book and journal. I probably, let y'all see me do that in the B-roll. But I don't know what it's about people. Y'all have heard me talk about this plenty of times on my channel. But it's getting to the point now where people so demanding and they're starting to become very disrespectful. And the thing is, like I was saying, I'm not going to let nobody get me out of character, because I know I need my money to, continue to pay my bills until God increase my finances, which I feel like my financial situation finna take place. Like I say, I feel like once God bless you with something, He gonna continue overflowing you with blessings, like more and more blessings on the way. I claim it. And so today at work, there was this couple. Well, it was a group of older people. And they spoke very, very, very sweet or whatever. And it was 2 ladies and 2 men. And sometimes I feel like when I'm servicing, different ethnicity of people, because not everybody that I service, might not always, look like me. And so she only bought a coffee. Okay, I don't really expect for people to tip me off coffee. To be honest, I have gotten to the point where I really don't look for tips, but tips are part of our income. And so we always usually have to, after when we ring the guests up, we hit a button that print out their receipts. And so we have to print out, it'll print out 2 copies. And if they want like a itemized receipt, I think I've explained that to you all. But like I said, I'm planning out some content, and I'm doing like a chit chat server diary. I feel like that's pretty much like my reality right now as a food server. Maybe like I said, I can just do like just an actual chit chat, because you all have came to work with me plenty of times. But we use, like I say, have to print out with this receipt, which is an itemized receipt. And so it's basically a detailed receipt, and it just show their purchases. And so most times, some people, depending on like if they're stayed, like if they they staying at the hotel on a business trip with the company they work for, they might need their receipt if they have to pay for it out of their own pocket. And most times, if their company might be specializing. Hold on, the camera. Okay, I guess it's my camera. Okay, look like something's on my phone. But yeah, if they work for a company, and the company might have to pay for their their room or their meals, they might need an itemized receipt so they can just show for their records. Because I have had a lot of guests or customers tell me that. Well, mostly guests. Every now and then we get a few people that might not stay there, and they purchase some and might want an itemized receipt. But overall, there always be guests that need their particular paperwork. And so when I was getting ready to close the ticket out, well, I had gave the lady her 2 receipts, and I gave her an itemized receipt. And I think I just gave her 2 receipts. And I asked her, can she fill out? Because I don't think she need an itemized receipt. She just purchased a coffee, a regular little cup of coffee. And when I was getting ready to close it out, they usually have to total out, so it won't, when we close the checks out, it won't charge their card, no more than what if they give you a tip or not. So I looked at the coffee. I think she paid, the coffee. I think she ordered like a medium coffee. Our regular little coffee is cheap. Like just a regular Starbucks coffee, not espresso drink. Those are cheaper than like the lattes and all that, the espressos. And so when I was getting ready to close out, she had 30 cents above on gratuity, and I'm looking like. I was like, dang, I said to myself, I was like, man, she could have just kept this, because I know last week I had 2 guests. I was working by myself. I got kind of busy. That's why I'm kind of glad that I had that little break in between. Like I was thinking about, I was mentioning something about, I wish I would have worked this past weekend, but even though I worked Friday, it's whatever, because sometimes you just need a break from work, just to clear your mind. And I really need it. Like I said, I've been resting really well since I've been, in my place. But the thing is, I don't know what is it when it comes down to people now from, different backgrounds or whatever. And I'm trying to say it. I don't know if I'm trying to say it in the, I'm just trying to be realistically and say it, the way how I see things. It's really sad that we living, like I said, we already living in trying times, Okay, 30 cents can't really pay my bills, And last week I experienced this too with, like I said, with another, with a guy. And he put down what he did. He tipped 61 cents. And I'm like, when you start tipping servers like that, it make me think you're trying to be funny, And my thing is, if you're going to tip a server, because really I don't even be looking for tips. As long as I'm still getting a full hourly rate, I'm good. But, tips are part of our income. And see, working in the hotel, the service, you might not be making like if you was working like in a actual server part where they make like $2.15 or $2.13 an hour plus tips, because there are still jobs out here like that when you're a server you might make that. I don't make that, but my thing is I feel like you should have just keep the 31 cents. So now it was a lady tipped me 61 cents last week, and I think the guy tipped 50 cents, and then today I received 30 cents. And I don't know what it is. I'm going to just be honest. When it comes down to Caucasian people, it's not everybody. Because these people that did that, it was 3 Caucasian people, different times. I don't know what is it when it comes down to blacks. I feel like just because you was brought up a certain way to dislike or hate another, group of people, but not everybody is the same, And my thing is, like I say, I was always taught to treat people the way I want to be treated. But it's like now we're living in an era where people just feel like they can treat people any kind of way, especially people that don't look like them or whatever. And to me, when it come down to me and just general, like I say, I'ma still smile to keep my posture, but if you get out of line with me, that's when I'ma say something. Because I'm not gonna let it get to the point where it get too far. And I had spoke about this to one of my friends. I said I would not be disrespected on either job, because that's one reason why a lot of people don't want to come back to work. That's one reason why a lot of people chose not to come back to work. The amount of disrespect you deal with when it comes down to customer service in general, especially when it comes down to people overall, it's really sad. And it's not like I say, it's not just Caucasian people. Sometimes it can be rude. It could be my own people. But and have times with my own people, they might drop big old zero on gratuity line. I don't care. I know I did my part. If you feel that way, then hold on, y'all. Yeah, y'all, I'm bad. But yeah, it's just really sad when it comes down to people nowadays. Everybody's so demanding, and they just, think that they can just treat people any kind of way, and not everybody gonna go for you. I just feel like if you're gonna start, like I said, if you're gonna start leaving tips like that, you can just keep that 60. Because last week I didn't even close it out when the person told her it out. I just closed it out as closed, CC closed, and let the 61 cent ran back on her card. I was like, you keep the 61 cent. I don't know why I didn't think to do that today. It's like today we got a little slam, And I'm just, going through the checks, closing them out. Then I noticed, and I'm like, it was too late because the 30 cent could have been reimbursed back to her card. Like I say, it's just sad. That just goes to show you the time, the era we living in now. It's just really sad where we at now. All the hate, not enough love, and it's just sad. It really is. Like I say, I see a lot when I'm working these places. Like I said, y'all know I'm doing customer service at 2 different hotels, so that's a lot to deal with by itself. Working in the same industry. Like I said, it's a fast-paced industry. And then you dealing with all type of groups of people every day. Like I said, I don't really, like I said, the other job, my second job, part-time, I might work 2 or 3 days out of a week over there, or whenever my supervisors need me to request the days off from my first job if he really need me to work there. But just dealing with people, it's a lot. That's why I see why a lot of people, and everybody be so quick to holler about people is lazy, people this, people that. It's not that some folks lazy. It's a lot of people out here still choosing to work, but people just tired of being mistreated when it come down to dealing with people, and then you already dealing with enough on your jobs and stuff. So that's extra stress. And then you got to sit here and smile in front of these people. These people sometimes can cuss you out, be rude, and talk to you crazy, and you still have to carry a smile. That's a lot. Like, folks are already barely can afford to pay their bills with the amount of, with the money that they do make. But then you have to come to a job. You're dealing with probably coworkers that's, putting you through a lot. Then you got to deal with some guests that want to act like idiots at times. It can be a lot. And so that's why I tell y'all, protecting your peace at all times. Y'all know I'm so big on nature. Like, y'all sometimes see me in my uniform days I get off of work. I go somewhere because I'm telling you, you really need a peace of mind when like I say, in this era, and with the way how things set up now, where so much division and hate, not enough love, and just everybody turning against one another. You really need a peace of mind, because it'll literally drive you crazy, because you already, dealing with enough as it is. Like, you might be going through a lot in your personal life, and then you have to come to a place of work where you have to make your money so you can survive, and then you have to take crap sometimes, or deal with people that's might not always be, treat you right, and then you still have to smile. It's a lot. But yeah, when I say, I just tell anybody, if you ever get in this industry, I'm telling you, be prepared, because it's a lot. That's why a lot of people don't really want to do this. That's why I know this, even with my second job with banquets. It's a lot of work. That's why some people don't last long in this field I'm in. Like, most people that I have worked with probably only last 6 months in this field. That's how bad, because not too many people can handle this, and it's really sad. But y'all know I make the best out of them, because like I say, especially now while God opened his door for me, I definitely got to make sure I'm paying my bills so I can have a roof over my head, But it's a lot. I was like, man, I just never seen nothing like it when it come down to you doing the best you can. You barely making enough money. Then you get these people want to be rude idiots, like I say, and then you just still have to smile and keep your posture. It's a lot. But yeah, I ain't gonna rant too much. I think I'm gonna go on there. Y'all probably see me. I'll probably show y'all some B-rolls. I'm gonna do a couple pages out this self-love book, and then I'll probably just plan out some content. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go on to do that. And I don't know, I might extend this vlog to another day. Y'all probably see me getting ready in the morning. We'll see. I do get ready. I do have to go back to work tomorrow, so yeah. queens, and handsome kings doing this evening. How you all doing? Welcome. Welcome back to the start of welcome to another day in this video. I'm sorry, not a start. I don't know, I might end this video right here when I get to chatting with you all so I can have another video, be ready to go live for the following day. Well, I just went live today. But I know I like to upload every 2 days or maybe every 2 to 3 days. I was just sitting here thinking about something this morning. I kind of wanted to talk to you all then, but it was kind of early. Because I did have to work today. I am out tomorrow, and then I got a busy, this is going to be somewhat like a busy week for me. But one of the days, which is Saturday, I got to work a double at my first job. And I was just sitting here thinking about something about money when it come down to money. You know, I'm really starting not to really, and I know money is what you call a necessity, something that we all have to have, where, you know, that you need money, you know, in order to live or whatever, because you need money to, you know, pay your rent, pay your bills and all that. But I was sitting up here I was thinking about something earlier, and I'm like, you know, man, I'm working extremely hard for a piece of paper, but even though it's something that is valuable, or, you know, that you have to have in order to, you know, sustain life, it stresses you out. And I'm like, I'm working so hard for this, and then when you get it, it goes. You know, and I'm like, man, it's just really sad. Like, you study working extremely hard, and then basically just go to bills. I was looking there because I had to do an Instacart a little bit while ago before I tuned in with you all. I just put the gross. I only bought like 10 items, and for 10 items, my total was like $49.08, I think. So they charged my card for $50. I'm like, boy, I tell you, money, when time you get it, go. Then I had to pay, you know, put some on my light bill. You know, I'm forever grateful. I'm glad that rent won't be due so the following pay period, because, you know, that's the only thing I dislike about working a job where you know, both my jobs, you get paid every 2 weeks. I have to wait till the following week to be able, so I say, because it's like rent to be due again. And then by moved in the house in like the first week of March. But like I said, the rent to be due. One thing I'm forever grateful for my landlord. I have a very nice, sweet landlord, so I have between the 1st through the 5th of the month before I, you know, pay my rent. And then one thing I'm forever grateful for, like when he was saying, you know, sometimes times might get hard. If I can pay this portion of the rent, you know, split my rent payments up. So that's a good thing, but I always like to make sure I just pay everything in full. But I tell you, it's really hard when you're doing everything by yourself. Like, if you don't have a husband or, you know, a significant other or whatever in your life, it's really hard. And I'm starting to see a lot of people speak up on this, even on YouTube, about how they just getting burnt out. Like, you know, it's becoming to the point where it's so stressful because you constantly chasing, trying to survive. And then, you know, y'all heard me talk about this. Like, we all know jobs not paying a lot of money. It's like the jobs want to pay you a pay where, like, if you was 16 or some years old working, you know, or staying at home with your relatives, you know, for the pay that they paying, but they require you to do more work, but you're not getting overpaid, you know, like you're not getting extra pay or a bonus on your check. And it's like, it get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, man, money just don't really have no value to me no more. Like, why is I'm working so hard for it? Even though I know I gotta, you know, because I'm, like I say, since God opened his door for me, I've been extremely at peace. Being in my own comfort of my own home, you know, I can do what I want to do. If I want to, you know, play some music or you know, clean, because I try to keep it clean anyway. You know, do what I want to do because, like I say, I'm paying the bills here. But it's like, it's like, man, it just don't have no value to it no more. Like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I'm just working myself hard. And then, and it's just really sad because, and I was listening to some Jada Jonay was preaching about even when it come down to family or relatives, that's another thing. You be wanting to make sure you're there for your peoples, and help people if you can. And I feel like when you be able, if you can share your blessing, God will. He, what they say, he double your blessing more. Like if if you have a relative might need a couple dollars or something, to get something to eat. I'm just using this example, but. And I'm not talking about me per se. I was just speaking in general. There's be times where, you might have family be like, hey, so-and-so, I might need a couple dollars so I get paid. It's just really, really hard, when you're barely getting by and you want to do right by people, but also people should sometimes understand that you just don't have it, And it's getting to the point even with myself, because I have a good heart, I have lend money to people. I don't ask for it back, if I knowing that you need and God open the door, because he gonna bless me with more. I don't usually ask nobody to pay me back. It gotta be really something like, if I just really need it, I might say, hey, well, I might need, the money back. But I don't really do that. But the thing is, people have to really stop taking some people kindness for weakness, because like I say, everybody now is in a tough boat right now when it come down to their finances. And I was saying to myself, and I was thinking about that this morning when I was getting to work. When I was getting ready to leave out for work, when I was making my coffee, I'm like, I'm gonna have to learn how to say no. If it was me and I needed some type of help, like I say, I did all this by myself, like me getting this place on my own, no reference, me and God, I'm gonna say. I'm at the point now where I have to worry about myself and my security. Like I have to make sure I'm, find where I'm at right now, And I said I'm gonna have to start saying no to people, because I just can't help everybody. I gotta make sure I'm good first. And I feel like that's what's most of the times why I've been always kind of a little bit overwhelmed and stressed, because I'm always constantly looking out and trying to make sure everybody else good, and most time I might not be good all the time. And then out of the the type of heart I got, it's hard to say no. And I was listening to when Jada was saying that, Jada Jonay, I've been following her for a while now. Like a lot of people that I might mention to you, I might have been following for quite a few years. And like I say, I can resonate with a lot of things, what they share on their platform. And when she spoke on this, she was just doing a girl check, and it's so true. Sometimes you might have to say no to people. Like you just can't help everybody. You in a tough situation or a tough boat yourself, you got to make sure you're good, And that really woke me up, because I'm like, man, I'm still trying to help everybody, but I'm not at the, I don't have it all together even. Like I'm not rich or nothing like that. But I gotta learn how to say no, because I work hard for my money, I gotta learn how to start saying no, And like I said, I'm gonna really talk to God and pray about it. And, I think when I get through chatting with you all, I'm gonna just try to, kind of clear my mind a little bit, because I was gonna work on my journal, the little self-love book that I'm showing you all that I had found when I was at the old place. Because that book is really good. I feel like it's kind of like a diary, like a journal diary, where it asks you a lot of like personal questions, like on far as your emotions and how you really feeling. And I feel like that book really is, it suits me well, because it's like a lot of things, most time a lot of people fight silent battles that you will never know unless they might, open up to you about it. And so me just being able to write, journal write, get it all out on paper, that really helped me, versus me always, reaching out to someone, because I know everybody have their own problems and everybody dealing with something. I don't want to be that person that, put extra problems on people. So that's why I just sometimes mostly keep a lot of things within, even though I know not everything is always peaches and cream with me. But I'm also learning, to, be grateful for the littlest things that God is, doing in my life. But yeah, it can be a lot though when it come down to working hard and making money. Because the way I feel now, hard work don't necessarily really get you too much nowhere. Like there's nothing wrong with continue to strive and do what's best for you, and show up for yourself, and do what you gotta do to make sure you're good. But working hard don't really mean nothing. And I'm seeing it now, because I feel like I should be a little further in life than where I'm at. But like I say, when you living in the city, that's to me kind of segregated. I'm just be honest. You know, Memphis is the South. You know, and then you know it's not that many opportunities here, but it can be a lot. It can be a lot. I always been saying like I said, I'm trusting God. I don't know which direction I want to go, but like I know right now He got me in this season in my life where He opened His door for me to be able to be blessed with my own home. So I'm just trying to make the best out of this and just cherish my peace and this new blessing that He had blessed me with. But yeah, it been times where I've been really been wanting to up and leave Memphis, but I just like I say, I just got to pray about it, and because like I say right now, far as the cost of living, when it come down to different places, everything is pretty expensive. So it's like I'm trying to stay here because like I say, I don't really, my rent is sustainable where I can manage, which is a good thing, and I just don't want to up and leave, until I know my financial situation get better. But it is a lot. The devil just really been busy the last few days. I know he been trying to really try your girl, but your girl ain't going. Like he really been trying to try me, and I feel like people don't understand when you're a quiet person. Sometimes you just want to be alone, and most times, in some cases, some people like to pick with you for no reason, And so I just been trying to keep my head up and not let the devil or anybody just interrupt my peace, because that's one thing about me. When you try to steal my peace, you gotta stay away from me. I'm not gonna let you interrupt my peace. I need my peace of mind. I smile, yeah. Joy, that's another thing. Joy, you gotta have that too. But when it come down to me just getting a peace of mind and just clearing my mind from day-to-day things that's going on, we got a problem. Just because you're not happy with your life, don't come over here trying to steal my peace. That's why I'm like, I can't deal with negative energy. That's why even when I moved in this house, I pray for peace, and I can't deal with negative people. But I just want to end this vlog off and just say I just pray that things get better. I claim it. I know God has last say, and I just feel like when He got so much in store for you, He greater things ahead. But till next time, you all have a great day. I hope you all stay safe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.